turn to cook something, and I am preparing Pollo con Crema. Pollo is chicken in Spanish, of course, and con is with, and cream. So this is a dish that I have discovered at 2 of our local Mexican restaurants that I love, and it's kind of hard not to order it every time I go there, which is fine. You can do that if you want to, but
and we never really saw it.
No, we were in Mexico, like weeks of Mexico, and I never saw it on a menu. And anything that comes with a creamy sauce, I am in. That is my favorite thing. So after having that a couple times and really enjoying it, I'm like, I could totally make that myself. There's recipes in the Google cookbook. So I found something and I have tweaked it to find ways to make it where it's even better than the recipe or the restaurants. So here's what we're gonna do. So to start with, this is only 1 chicken breast. Now Matthew and I, this is totally enough for us for a dinner. The recipe that I'm working off of calls for 4 chicken breasts and whole, and I like it cut up in little bits. That's actually better. So I have just 1 chicken breast here. You could totally make this like triple, quadruple the sauce if you want, and you know, for the whole family, but there's just 2 of us, so this is what's gonna work. All right, so I'm gonna start with ½ a teaspoon of cumin. Oh, that looks like it's getting moist in there. Huh. That's weird. Okay, ½ a teaspoon of cumin. We need to address that. It's moist here in the arcata bottoms. And a whole teaspoon of chili powder. There's a lot of good flavors in this. And salt. However much salt, I always just do, like, you know, in my hand, whatever that is. Okay, I'm gonna mix this up like this, combine those, and then we're gonna put this on the chicken that I have just made little slices. I kind of took the breast and then did a little diagonal slices of it. That'll be perfect for what we need. So I'm just going to sprinkle this on here. This is gonna, there's so many good flavors in this. This is gonna be really good. Okay, now I gotta try to get the other side. This is gonna be really fun viewing. Oop, there's one hiding under there. Okay, this is exciting. This is gonna just be nice and tender. We're hardly gonna cook this at all. It doesn't need much time, obviously. Okay. Now I'm gonna try to use the rest of this, or not, however much. Just a nice coating. Okay, there we go. There's that. Now, I'm gonna dredge all of this in the flour. Let's see, how am I gonna do this? I'm gonna have all the plates out. And I'm just gonna coat each one of these. We're using a 1-to-1, it's called flour, which is a gluten-free flour. We have someone in this house who can't have regular flour, and we're really happy that there are these other options that don't contain any bad stuff. I can imagine using absolutely any kind that you want if you prefer, like a almond flour, coconut flour.
The 1-to-1 is a good gluten-free flour.
Yeah.
I was at a cooking class today where she used gluten-free flour, the 1-to-1, to make a roux for some New Orleans cooking, and it worked out really well.
Yeah, I think it's very much just like regular flour, I feel like. We haven't really done any baking, which we really don't. If you followed us, you know that we used to make tarts. Well, the we being Mr. Cook, but we don't do that so much anymore without the gluten, and also because we try not to have all those calories, but this is not a low-calorie meal here. Okay, just about got them all done. And I'm gonna hang on to this flour. You never know if you just need a touch more in that sauce that we're making. These are little accidental pieces that fell off. You know, I think a chicken thigh, like you could buy the boneless thighs, that'd probably be really good too. Do it any way you want, whatever your favorite thing is. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna go over to the stove in a minute. All right, so we need to cook up this chicken just briefly. We're gonna use, I guess it's only a tablespoon, a little more than that, of butter and some olive oil. Just, you know, a little swoosh. If you can get a bottle that has one of these Jiggy What's on there, it's really good. Okay, I guess I should have that on. Okay, we're gonna get that heated up. That might take a minute.
My wife misses me, but her aim's getting better.
We just heard that somewhere, huh?
Yeah, I was just trying to think of a joke.
Oh,
It's the only one that came to mind.
That's pretty good. I think my pan's gonna be a little bit crazy big, but you know, you want it to be big enough. Mr. Cook here sometimes has a bowl, and then he's like, well, that's not big enough, so now we've got 2 bowls to wash. That's the story of my life. This time I get to do all the food, and then I get to clean it all up too. That's just not the best thing ever. Okay, it's getting there. So the nice thing about the butter and oil is the butter's going to give it a good flavor, and the oil kind of keeps the temperature down, or the burn, the boiling, not, what is it, the word?
The burn temp.
The burn, yeah, it keeps it from, you know, burning. You know. All right, I'm just gonna let that keep going and start putting this in here. And we're only gonna cook this just for a couple of minutes, because obviously it's, oh God, just get in there. It doesn't need a whole lot of time. I've got some potatoes boiling here because I'm just trying to decide, you know, creamy sauce. You could have this with pasta, you could serve it with rice, you could make a Mexican rice, which I think we've done in some video.
Tortillas.
Yeah, anything. I just thought potatoes would be the easiest thing. Okay, let's give that a little bit of heat there. Need another dish. Jeez, what's with all the dishes? Okay, it's starting to sizzle a little. I thought you were going to say, take my wife, please. Okay, that's coming along now. So my main thing here is I just want to cook it like 5 minutes max. And then when we're done making the sauce, we're going to put it back in the sauce again, and it's going to cook a little bit more. So I see that you can see the edges are starting to see, that's probably enough on that side. I don't need to turn it brown or anything. I just want it to be a little bit cooked. Look at all those spices are going to make that delicious. We cook a lot of chicken around here. We actually buy the, Costco has a frozen chicken breast that we like. They pump it full of a lot of liquids, but super moist and it's pretty good. Let's put some more. Okay, another minute on that. Man, I could just eat those just like that. little chicken fingers. Okay, I think we're going to say that's good enough right now. Don't want to overcook it. Okay, I'm going to take this off the heat. Put it all down here on a dish that we're going to save on the side. I was thinking about other ways to do this, but then I realized all those spices are what really makes the dish. But you know, like just putting cooked chicken in this. But this is what makes it really good. Which they don't do in Mexican restaurants that you go to. Oops, one more.
Plus you almost have a little roux going there with the
I know I do, which is what we're going to use. Okay, so we're going to come back in a couple minutes. I'm going to cover this up. And we'll get back to the next part. Okay, I covered up the chicken. We don't want that to get dried out. And the pan here, we're going to put it up to about medium and add a little bit more oil. That's good. And just leave the other stuff that's in there. That's the good, all those flavors are in there. I have about a small onion. You know, onions are never small or big, they're whatever they are. But this is, you know, like maybe a cup or so of onion. And then this is about 3 jalapenos, like this size. I had to run to the store to get those. We're gonna saute those until they're, you know, the onions are translucent. This is where the really good flavor comes from. Put on a medium heat. We're going to have a lot more sauce than anything else, but that's okay. That's my favorite thing.
You can go on the taters.
Yeah. And then if there's any leftover sauce, I'll like put it on my eggs tomorrow. I've been known to do that. So it just takes a couple of minutes. And you know, I'm the kind of person that if these are a little bit crunchy, I don't really mind. I like to have textures in my food. That's pretty good. Okay, that's a good point now to add my garlic. So I've got, oh yeah, I forgot to say that's diced onions, diced jalapeno, and I diced the garlic. I like garlic to be in chunks because I really want to get a bite of it and taste it. So this was like, you know, a couple of fat cloves. If you put it in last, then it doesn't get overcooked. Garlic tends to cook faster than things like onions and peppers. And you don't want to ruin your dish with some burned garlic. Looking good. I think to this now I'm going to add my half a teaspoon of oregano. You know, I'm surprised the recipe never called for Mexican oregano, which I could use. But I'm going to use regular. How's that smelling?
Smells really good.
Yeah. We're going to smell up the neighborhood. Okay, let's let that cook for a second and then check back. Okay, this is looking really good. So one of the things that I'm adding, well, seriously, I don't think I've ever had even jalapenos in the ones we've had before, but we like to go to the farmer's market in the summer and and fall and really stock up on poblanos that we freeze. So here we have a beautiful part of a red and a green poblano we're gonna add. And I'm kind of adding it for flavor, but also for the colors. You know, this should be beautiful. And then we're gonna add a little bit of chipotle. Now we buy the whole can of this and then freeze it in little cubes. And this will add a nice little bit of heat to it. I think I'll add like, what do you think, 3 teaspoons? That should be plenty.
Isn't that the half?
Huh?
Isn't that the half teaspoon? So that was 1.5.
Oh, is it? No.
Yeah.
Okay, then one more.
Okay, 2 teaspoons.
2 teaspoons, yeah.
Perfect.
Whatever tickles your pickle. This is going to be the part that's going to give it a little heat. So, okay, I'm going to kind of mix that in now. It's going to be pretty with that red. I'm glad we have that. I guess if you like bell peppers, you could use that. Those are easy to come by. Red or orange, that'd probably be pretty beautiful. Okay, now to this we're going to add 1 1/4 to 1.5 cups of chicken stock. This is some stock that we make here at home and freeze it in big cubes. Okay, and I'm going to bring that to a boil, and this has to deglaze and basically reduce to about half the liquid. So we're going to have to just let that go for a while, and look at how pretty that's going to be. I'm excited. Okay, we're going to just let that simmer for a little while and check back. Okay, so it looks like our stuff has reduced. It's supposed to reduce to about half. That looks pretty good, like it has. It's so colorful in there, and it occurred to me that you really don't have to cook the jalapeno and onion that much, because it definitely cooks in here for a little while that reduces. So now we're going to add our Mexican Crema. There's lots of different choices. This is the one that we picked. It's a much yellower kind of sour cream. It's tangier. It's thinner, but you can use regular sour cream or creme fraiche, you know, whatever you want. But I'm going to try to stick to this. So we're going to kind of blend this in here a little and let that simmer for a couple minutes. It's going to make a beautiful sauce. And get that all warmed up and mixed in there. So one of our local restaurants definitely adds peppers and chipotle to their crema, and the other one is pretty much just a white sauce, which are both delicious to me, but I'm pretty excited to do this one. We haven't actually cooked it at home with the chipotle in there before, but I always order it that way. So we're just going to let this kind of sit here for a couple minutes. Work through. I got my potatoes mashed. You know, you could serve this with a vegetable, but kind of figuring there's, yeah, those are exciting. I use a little bit of the Mexican sour cream in there from the part, you know, you can use milk or sour cream. And I use some of that because now we have just a smidge of that left in there. Okay, I want that to cook down just a little bit more. And we're going to add our chicken in a minute. It's a lot of sauce.
Yes, it is.
It's okay, you know, there's so many uses. I could put this over, like I said, over the omelets we have tomorrow. I have some leftover poblanos I can put inside the omelet with some sauce on top. We'll see. I do wish this was a little bit thicker, but the coating on the chicken might actually make this thicken up a little more.
It hasn't boiled again yet, so.
Yeah, it's coming to it. That looks so good. Here it goes. It's like pudding. Keep stirring it. It gets thicker. If it's thin, I don't care. We can eat it in a bowl. Okay, I'm gonna put this chicken in here. Ooh, sorry about that. We're gonna let that just cook in there for a couple of minutes. We'll come back in a little bit and check it out. Okay, looks like this is done. I wouldn't have minded it to be a little bit thicker, but I'm not going to deal with that right now. It's going to be just fine. I'm going to, I already dished up some mashers. I've got a dish that's got a nice little bit of a lip on it, so it'll be fine. So I'm going to put some of this on here very carefully. Kind of on, I don't know, it's kind of tricky to get it pretty, but I'm going to do it the best I can. That looks pretty good.
It does look good.
Yeah, look at that. Okay, I'm gonna garnish it with a little bit of chopped up cilantro from our garden. You can use parsley if you find that offensive, like some people's DNA does. A little bit of chili flakes. Add a little something else. There we go, look at that. Okay, let's see how I did. I kind of have a good feeling about this. Doesn't look too thin, actually. Okay, chicken in there. I'm gonna try this part. I'm waiting for the heat part. Yeah, there's a little bit of spice to this, but you know, that's what we do here. That's really good. Let me try this chicken. Super tender. So, there you have it. That is good. You know, you can make anything at home. So, thank you for watching Two Cooks in the Kitchen. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We're also on Facebook. Number two, Cooks in the Kitchen. And we'll see you next time.